And of course, everybody remember that tomorrow is when we officially begin the
Oh gosh.
20 minutes
5 minutes
segment.
extra.
Goodbye to your 10 minutes news session.
We need to give you have a party to really
Exactly.
celebrate.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Lagos. So this is how you can get involved in the show this morning. On WhatsApp, it's 0809 444 0981. On Twitter, it's at smooth981fm. Use the hashtag businessexpress981. On YouTube, we're streaming live. So please use the streaming link or the live chat link to send in your messages.
All right, so ready to go?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready
So
to go.
the stock market was up by what 0.25% yesterday. 26,310 points is where the all, well 0.77 is where the all share index closed. Market cap is at 12.8 trillion naira. I think market is still going to be negative for October. So Lagos, remember Monday? Shout out to J-Lo, Oluzil, and everybody else that corrected me when I got my wires crossed. Someone was asking me about Omo auctions. I said defining primary market auctions, but we had, because that was on my brain when I kept thinking about the central bank restricting non-bank institutions from participating in OMO auctions at the primary and secondary level. So we had an auction yesterday, and I think it was about the debt management office rolled over about 132 billion naira across three tenors. So it was 94-day, 185-day, and 365. Yeah, and the rates dropped. The stop rates for 94-day, but by the way, these things were all oversubscribed, so that is a lot of people, at least those who are allowed to still, those who are able to participate in this, I should be careful now, I'm saying allowed to still participate, that's almost, this is the PMA. So those that were able to participate in this, there was a oversubscription, and we saw rates for the 94-day at 9.5%. These are the stop rates now. 185 at 10.4, and the 364 at 11.5. So the thing is this, with the with the restrictions in the with the OMO auctions, we've seen a lot of demand come over to the primary market auctions. Yeah, and with that, with the increased demand, we've seen the rates come down. My concern is this: inflation is at 11.2, I believe, 11.24. So as far as the 94-day and or rather the 91, 182, and 364, excuse me, but as far as those are concerned, those are below inflation, and the real return is essentially negative. Another thing is, Nairametrics had an article on this. What they said, CBN Omo Blues, your fintech savings app could suffer bigly. Bigly is a word they borrowed from Mr. Trump.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of these companies, these non-bank institutions, they offer some really good rates. Yeah. I mean, I know one of them was offering like 15%, I think, 15, and maybe one I think was even 16%. These are the ones where you get an app, you log in, they offer you savings rates and so on. These guys earn a spread, right? So they're able to offer you 14, 15%, because they're able to go and pull the money and then go buy these securities at a higher rate, and then they earn a little bit of the difference. With the rates dropping now, I unless they want to take a loss, I don't know if they can actually continue this. So this is a fallout of what we're seeing with the central bank restricting participation in the OMO auction. So I mean, we'll have to see how it works. I haven't seen any difference in the rates that are being offered, but over time they might actually drop. So it's something to look at as far as what the central bank sees in the future with participation in these securities. So I thought that was interesting, looking at the primary market auction that we had yesterday.
That's great.
We had messages already.
Well, all the messages, Cynthia, Tolu, Fred, Yinka, all just rejoicing that tomorrow is 20 minutes.
Oh.
Indeed, Cynthia said that she's put an alarm.
Okay.
She set an alarm again tomorrow. So please, for others, if you want to set an alarm, it's starting at 6:40 and
Yes.
no longer 6:45.
Yes, indeed. No longer at 6:45.
The alarm, they just confirming what you've mentioned. If
Okay, the rates, the tenors, yeah. Okay, on as far as
a comment. Someone on WhatsApp says, speaking of fintech, what's the difference between investing in Eurobonds via United Capital's Invest Now and Cowrywise, since they also use United Capital?
Okay, so yeah, that's a very okay. So Modupe, the difference is that with the partnership that CarryWise has with a number of these institutions, I believe you are able to invest at you can participate at a lower amount. So I believe with United Capital and other institutions like themselves that offer access to the Euro bonds, the minimum required is about $1,000. So that's about at this rate now it's 360. The CarryWise offers it at a lower rate. I can't remember what the amount is, but I believe it's lower to be able to participate. So this is what I'm saying. Now the Eurobond, that one is different. I mean, I'm talking about fixed deposit savings rates and so on. Yeah, but with the rates that we're able to offer, this is what's happening with the OMO restrictions. How they will be able to offer higher rates is what I'm looking at. But yeah, to answer your question, I believe you're able to enter the lower rates with them.
With them. All right. So John is asking if you could explain why a bid of NTB would fall, or could be wrong, or could it be like a wrong choice of words?
Well, no, the thing is, so there's the demand that would have pushed itself towards the OMO auctions they're not restricted, right? So that's moving over to the primary market, and when the demand is higher, the rates are going to fall because more people are trying to get in there. So that's essentially, it's a demand and supply thing. That's pretty much how it works. If nobody is interested and demand falls, then the rate is going to rise in order to entice people to come back. So that's pretty much the simple way of explaining how that works.
Thank you very much. That is going to who's fast becoming your best friend.
Prince
says that he's starting his league tomorrow, so hopefully
excellent. Excellent. Okay, let's talk aviation, the aviation sector real quick. The Federal Executive Council yesterday rejected calls to transform Arik Air into a national carrier. Yeah, the head of the managing director of AMCON, Mr. Ahmed Lawan Kuru, he had appealed before the Senate that the federal government should work towards making Arik a national carrier. We all know Arik had issues with debt. The federal government took. I think that's a logical request.
But we actually had quite a robust conversation. I'm sure you were listening. But people didn't want that.
Why?
Because they were like, it was a burden. They saw it more as a burden than a blessing. So they were thinking, why should we haven't even dealt with some of the issues? And then if we haven't been successful with past ventures into the aviation sector in terms of having a national carrier, why are we thinking of one now?
Well, okay, so this is what I'm saying. The government, unless now, if you're talking about selling it off or making sure that Arik can stand on its feet, again, and then seeing if it can operate on its own, I can understand from a private sector perspective. But it already exists, as opposed to, because Mr. Aviation Minister, Mr. Sirika, he was saying, his argument was that Arik doesn't have the capacity to be a national carrier.
Do they have the capacity though?
Well, the federal government owns them. You can purchase more. You are about to spend, what was the amount? Remember that whole fiasco with the national airline?
One of the things that people had said was probably the funds. What made Nigeria Air not even take off at all was because of the unavailability of funds. Okay,
so what does the government do now with Arik? What do you do?
Sell it off.
To who? I mean, whoever is willing to buy. Anyway, look.
So existing. So would it be a better idea to sell it to some existing airline operators so they can then expand their fleet? I know some, floating in my head. That's people who could possibly buy, because then they are in a better position to manage it and probably optimize the service that Arik was giving in the past. So that's what we were saying, that let's not take on this burden. We're not even able to manage.
It's already a burden. It's already a burden as it is.
Uche from VI says, yes, on this story he stated something of the sort of 400 million naira. Okay, so going back to your so in GDP on account of this so-called new national carrier they are supposedly bringing. What's up with that? So
look, that's these, whenever they pull up these figures, I don't know. It's my own is that something. When did they take over Arik? It's 2 years now, so I mean, roughly about 2 years. Roughly about 2 years. Okay, something has to give, right?
So let me ask you this now. So a number of people, when we're having this conversation, were saying that, well, we all rejoiced when Akwa Ibom said they were going to
Ibom Air. They've launched their own.
So what's the problem? Why can't we? So those are the kind of things that a number of people were wondering. If Ibom Air is it successful? How is it?
No, it's too early to determine how. They only have they launched with 2 planes or 1 plane or something like that. So there's still that one. So that one still has to.
Can you judge a little by the way they've? Have you been on Ibom Air?
I have not. But the thing is, it's way too early to determine whether Ibom Air is going to be successful or not. They've launched. They want to add more planes. So you know, if you can, I mean, this is me just talking theoretically here. I already own ARIC. My issue is that the government already owns ARIC.
That's exactly what Prince says. Since
okay.
Federal government own ARIC through AMCON, is it not already a national carrier? It's just a matter of name change.
Thank you, sir. It's technically, you already own it. It's already a national carrier.
Inside. Let me tell you something. You know that. I don't.
Yeah, I know. I get you.
When you buy something,
yes,
it looks like it's because everything you buy is not your own.
True.
Some things you take over is more of a burden to you than a blessing.
See, but that's the job of AMCON. AMCON is supposed to recapitalize companies that fall, you know, that get into trouble and resell it. But it's 2 years they haven't resold it anyway.
So from Tunde, he says, I decided to go through my bank statement and saw all the debit charges against my account for POS transactions. This is daylight robbery. For this reason, I decided, so we decided to go cash.
And Tunde is not alone in this. There are many people who have decided that, look, they're going to time their transactions. They will go to the ATM, withdraw the cash they need, and just, you know, and I don't blame anybody that does that. I don't blame anybody.
All right, so Papi K is saying Nigeria, its biggest problems is the leaders and certain followers. I'm sure it's me.
He's saying he's talking to the government.
He said Shame wants to recount the entire FEC. ARIC and Aero are both owned by a federal government. Their craft is enough to kickstart the national carrier if they so desired. Quick wins, but in my country now rocket science.
That's what I'm saying. It's already there.
But this comment is from Akemi Victor. It says, Rotus, you have said time and again that government has no business running a business. Sell off ARIC, or in another 5 years we will review another business loss by government.
Akemi, I can accept that point. True. But one is that you already own it. You've taken over. So what do you just let them sit in a hangar somewhere? Okay. Well, how come they haven't sold it till now?
Yinka says the problem with Nigerian aviation is the owners with 2, 3, or 4 planes and then feeling like real aviation practitioners. Do you know how many planes, German wings, that's a poor man's division of Lufthansa?
Good point.
Very good point. Well, unfortunately, that's all we can take at the moment.
Well, we won't do this tomorrow. You won't be telling me we're running out of time tomorrow. So everybody tune in. Tell your friends, family, and strangers. We start at 6:40 tomorrow. Yes. Thank you all for your messages.
I'll gradually get into that 1 hour dream.
Exactly. Okay. Small by small.
All right, Rotus. Don't forget to follow us at Smooth981 FM. Use the hashtag Business Express 981 and follow Rotus at Rotan Quote on Twitter.